Hello, boys and girls. Mr. Giamini wanted to come to you with a couple examples from this con skill, adding and subtracting negative numbers word problems. So let's take a look here. It says a class is playing a game where they add or subtract numbers to come up with another target number. So they have some kind of target number and they add or subtract numbers to get to that. Which of the following can Dina do to negative 3 to turn it into 1.5? So Dina's going to start with negative 3. Now we see she could subtract negative 4.5, subtract 4.5, add 4.5, or add negative 4.5. So she's doing four things at 3, negative 3. So I'm going to do this. We do negative 3, negative 3, and I would advise you doing this on paper and pencil, not on the screen. I'm just doing this to make it a little easier for you to see. So the first thing Dina can do is subtract negative 4.5. So subtract negative 4.5. First thing I notice is I have subtraction. So I think of keep, change, so this negative becomes a positive, or that subtraction becomes a plus, change. So the opposite of negative 4.5 is positive 4.5. So now all of a sudden we have $4.5. We're taking away 3, so that means Dina has 1.5. Hey, that works. Check. But before I hit check the answer, look what it says. Select all that apply, meaning there's more than one our answer. The next one, let's do it says subtract 4.5. So we have negative 3 minus 4.5. Now, again, same principle. We have subtracting integers. So let's keep, change, change. So we have a negative 3 plus negative 4.5. That gives me negative 7.5. Next one, add 4.5 to negative 3. So plus 4.5. This problem looks a lot like this. Oh my gosh, it is this. And that equals 1.5, so this would equal 1.5. And this says add, negative 4.5. But look, this problem looks identical to this problem, and that gave me negative 7.5. So those are my two answer choices that'll work. All right, got it right. Now, this one. The electric charge of a particle is equal to the negative charge plus the positive charge in the particle. Okay, I'm already confused. The electric charge of a particle is equal to the negative charge plus the positive charge. So to figure out the electrical charge of a particle, I need to combine the negative plus the positive. So I'm trying to figure out electrical charges of particles. So it says if we remove x electrons of negative charge from a particle that starts with 0, so I'm starting with 0, and if we remove x electrons of negative charges, we're removing negative charges. So if we remove x electrons of negative charge from a particle, it starts with 0 electric charge. What is true about the charge of the resulting particle? Okay, we start with 0, we remove, so that means to subtract. We're subtracting a negative charge, so we subtract a negative x. Well, wouldn't that be 0, keep, change, change, plus a positive? Would that be then a positive charge? Let's see. All right, see? Because we have 0 plus a positive, that would give me a positive. Let's take a look at another one. Which of the following can Jonah do to negative 6 to turn it to 0? Looks a lot like that one problem, but now we just have negative 6. That's not bad. Negative 6. I have 4 negative 6 I'm going to put because I'm doing 4 operations with negative 6. And we want to change it to 0. So let's subtract negative 6 from negative 6. So negative 6 minus negative 6. Well, there we go. Keep, change, change. We are adding opposites. When I add opposites, they give me 0. So that'll work. But remember, select all that apply. Subtract 6. So that's just negative 6 minus 6. Or negative 6, keep, change, change, plus negative 6. That gives me negative 12. Well, we want 0. Add negative 6. So negative 6 plus negative 6. Well, look at that. Looks a lot like that. That gave me negative 12. Then we got add 6. Negative 6 plus 6. Adding opposites, that gives me 0. Electric charge one again. So we're removing 2 electrons of negative charge from a particle that starts out with positive 1. So we're starting with a positive 1, correct? We are removing 2 electrons of negative charges. So we are removing negative 2. Negative 2. We're removing 2 electrons. So keep, change, change. 1 plus 2 is 3. That is a positive 3. Let's see if we get it right. Yes. And let's do another example here. Basketball teams use negative numbers to represent below average point totals, and positive numbers to represent above average point totals. Makes sense. The Minnesota Coyotes scored 6 points below their season average on Thursday and 9 points above their season average on Saturday. Excuse me, I say Saturday. Let me read that again. The Minnesota Coyotes scored 6 points below, so that would be a negative 6, their season average on Thursday, but 9 points above their season average on Saturday. What day did they score more points? Well, obviously they scored more points on Saturday because it was above their average. Now, how many points? So if I think of a number line, we're going from negative 6 below to positive 9. And let's just put a 0 here in the middle. So if I went from negative 6 to 0, I moved 6. If I go from 0 to 9, I moved 9. Total, I moved 6 plus 9. I've improved my point scores from Thursday to Saturday by 15 points. Hope this helps you with this con skill. Can be challenging. Take your time with it. You need 5 right in a row. Bye-bye.